Hello, everybody. We are Claire, Emily, and Kristen, and this is our project for Psych 221, Infancy and Childhood. For our project, we looked at gender development in early and middle childhood through the lens of the ecological systems theory. More specifically, we made a series of skits demonstrating how gender stereotypes in the mesosystem, exosystem, and macrosystem can influence development in children from the ages of 5 to 10. It is important to note that a child's concept of gender begins relatively early.
Children can actually become aware of gender and gender differences as early as 2 years of age.
That being said, the interactions that the child has with others, as well as their exposure to various gender stereotypes, can have a significant influence on the development of a child's self-understanding and gender. For the purpose of this project, we are defining gender stereotypes as widely held beliefs or generalizations about the behaviors and characteristics attributed to men and women. These are often complex and culturally dependent, but we will examine the typical American stereotypes.
First, we will examine an important part of the mesosystem, a child's school. Let's take a look at the influence of gender stereotypes in a scholastic environment. Take this typical co-ed primary classroom where students have arrived at school and are beginning their day. Observe the interactions within the classroom, paying particular attention to how the teacher interacts with children of different genders, even on a subtle level.
Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Monday. I hope you all had great weekends. Now, to start our day, let's do a little bit of our Monday morning share. Who'd like to share what they did over the weekend? Pick me. All right, let's settle down, please. Tony, why don't you share first?
This weekend I had a baseball tournament.
That sounds awesome, Tony. How did your team do in the tournament?
We won all of our games.
That's excellent. Congratulations. Okay, who would like to share next? Gracie, why don't you go?
This weekend I went to my grandparents' house.
That's nice, Gracie. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for Monday morning share right now. But I look forward to reading about your weekends when we do our journals this afternoon. Now, if everybody could please take out the math worksheet that you had for homework this weekend. I'm just going to come around and check and make sure you all did your homework. So let's start with the boys. Nice work, Tony. Good job, Blake. Thank you, Derek. Aaron, I see you didn't finish. Now, I know you can do better than this, but you need to try harder. All right. Girls next. Let's see. Great job, Bethany. Nice work, Gracie. Good job, Maria. Oh, Piper, I see you left these last few questions blank. Did you have trouble? That's okay. I know math can be tricky. We'll go over them as a class in a few minutes. Okay, let's start going over some of these problems. Let's see. Question number 1. If Betty has 2 apples and Archie gives her 4 more apples, how many apples will Betty have?
6.
Very good, Derek. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Okay, let's do the next question. Veronica has 10 teddy bears. If she gives 3 teddy bears to Cheryl, how many teddy bears will Veronica have left?
7.
That's right, Bethany. But remember, we want to raise our hands and wait to be called on next time. Okay, let's do the next question. Alice has 7 jelly beans. She gives 2 jelly beans to her friend Polly. How many jelly beans does Alice have left? Let's see. Blake, go ahead and give this one a try.
4.
Not quite, Blake, but good try. You'll get it next time. Can someone else give it a shot? Yes, Maria.
She'll have 5 jelly beans.
Yes. 7 take away 2 is 5. Okay, now it's time for our bonus question. Let's make it a competition. Boys first, girls. Okay, so get together. Here's your pieces of paper to be able to answer the question. Write down your answers for me. Okay. If Patty has 4 monkeys, 2 elephants, and 3 lizards. And Jenna has 5 monkeys, 6 elephants, and 1 lizard. How many of each animal do both girls have together? Okay, time's up. Please hand me your papers. Okay, so the girl said 8 monkeys, 8 elephants, and 4 lizards. And the boys said 9 monkeys, 8 elephants, and 4 lizards. And the winner of our math competition is the boys. Great job, gentlemen. You are doing amazing in math right now. Don't worry, girls. I'm sure you'll get them when we do our spelling competition tomorrow. And we're doing our weekend journals this afternoon, which I know you'll really like. Okay, now if everybody could put their math worksheets away for me, we're going to have a little bit of free time. So boys, you'll be excited to hear that we have new blocks back in the other corner of the room for you to use. And girls, I made sure to sharpen the pencils before I went home for the weekend, so you'll be able to do some drawing. Take about 15 minutes of free time, and then we're going to learn about history.
There were several examples of gender-based stereotypes throughout the scene. Let's review. First, there were differences in the attention and interactions regarding behavior between the teacher and the different genders. The boys received more attention, interaction, and praise than the girls. Notice how the teacher called on the restless, energetic Tony first, and then also asked him to elaborate on his weekend sharing, but did not do the same when Gracie spoke. Furthermore, the boys who answered questions correctly received greater praise, while the girls received more superficial acceptance. Boys were told that they did a great job, while girls were just told that they were correct. Research shows that there is an uneven distribution of teacher time, energy, and attention, all of which favor male students. Teachers engage less frequently with female students and ask them fewer questions, while at the same time providing males with more feedback and guidance. A study has found that this disparity in teacher interaction favors boys by a margin of up to 30%. The effect is often a situation of male dominance in the classroom while females remain in the background. There was also a difference in how the teacher responded to different behaviors depending on the gender of the student. When Derek blurted out an answer, he was praised for having the correct answer and his improper behavior was ignored. When Bethany performed the same blurting behavior, she was scolded. This example demonstrates a common gender stereotype that boys are energetic and will act out where girls should be more reserved. Research into schools illustrates that boys tend to have their behavior overlooked in favor of their knowledge, while girls have their knowledge overlooked if their behavior is considered abnormal. This conveys the message that for boys, knowledge is more important than behavior, but for girls it is the opposite. How they behave is more important than their knowledge. This affects gender development by encouraging activity in boys while promoting obedience in girls. Additionally, there was a difference in the teacher's perception about abilities. Notice that when she was checking the student's homework, she told Aaron that he needed to try harder, but consoled the female student Maria by acknowledging that math may be difficult for her. According to the research, this implies to the male student that he has the ability to do well and is not using it. The female student is regarded as though she does not have the ability to do well, and so it is okay that she did not complete the assignment. There are negative consequences to both aspects of this. Male students could be struggling with subjects, but due to stereotypes about male performance in areas such as math or science, their struggles could be dismissed as laziness or lack of effort. Female students, on the other hand, may be led to believe that they are not good at a particular subject or don't need to be good at them due to their gender. Research into the effects of these stereotypes has shown that girls tend to have lower performance in objective math than boys, despite there being little to no difference in cognitive development between genders in this age period. The teacher also pitted the students against each other by having a gender-divided competition. She praised the boys for their math skills while also making a comment about how the girls would likely do better with their verbal and language-related activities. As a result of such stereotypes, children develop an early perception that math and science are for boys while humanities and the arts are for girls. Studies have revealed a greater male bias in early childhood for STEM abilities, and evidence shows that even children as young as 3 to 5 years old show less support for counter-stereotypical STEM career choices, like a female astronaut. This gender divide over educational subjects can have negative consequences on both sides. Girls may not believe that they can be good at math and science or pursue careers in the STEM field. while boys are expected to be good at particular subjects and may be ridiculed if they struggle in those subjects or if they excel in more feminine-typed areas like language or the arts. Lastly, at the end of the skit, when the teacher suggested free play activities, the teacher implied that male students should play with blocks while female students would be more likely to draw. The effect of this stereotype gendered play is a differentiation of skills and abilities between genders. The typical activities for boys, blocks, construction, building, etc., promote gross motor skills, spatial and self-awareness, and assertion. For girls, playing house, tending to dolls, or doing artwork promote fine motor development and more affiliative skills such as conversation and nurturance. Neither of these skill sets are bad, but they are different, and if children are more confined to certain types of play based on their gender, it is more likely that they will develop or excel in different areas, which can further promote stereotypical perceptions about gender and gender roles. Now let's take a look at the exosystem, which includes a child's community and neighborhood. This scene involves a family that is spending time at their local park.
I'm stranger number 1. I'm Joey. I'm a 5-year-old boy, and I'm twins with Jessica. I'm Jessica. I'm a 5-year-old girl, and I'm twins with Joey. I'm the mother of Jessica and Joey.
I'm the father.
I'm stranger 3. I'm a 5-year-old boy.
I'm stranger 2. I'm a teenage boy.
And Alyssa?
So Jessica and Joey, later we were going to get our hair cut. Jessica, I think we were going to get just a little off today. Joey, how would you like to get a big boy haircut and get it short?
No thanks. I like it long.
Come on, Joey. Don't you think it's time?
If he wants to have it long, he can have it long.
Oh, beautiful little girl. Actually, I'm a boy. Oh,
What are you two doing? Allowing your son to have hair like that? Do you want to be beat up or shunned? Excuse me, but I don't think it's any of your business what we do with our children.
See, this is what I'll have to deal with. We should just make him do it. Fine. Kids, why don't you go play over there? Let's stay where we can see you.
I'm Jessica. I'm Joey.
Your name can't be Joey. You're a girl.
what?
Yes,
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You have long hair like a girl, and me and my friends can't play with girls because we're boys. See? Like, that's a girl I can't play with.
That's okay. She can play with me. Joey, Jessica, it's time to go. Mom, I was just about to make a new friend with that girl over there. Oh, but Jessica, that's a boy. No, it's not. She's in a skirt. Only girls can wear skirts. No, anyone can wear skirts, just like how your brother can have long hair. I don't get it. I'll explain it to you when you're older.
Hi everyone. So we are looking at in the skit how the exosystem, which are friends and strangers in the community, affect young children and their gender identity roles. We also see a little bit of the mesosystem when Joey and Jessica interact with their parents. So we are looking at Joey and Jessica, who are both 5-year-old twins. So around age 2, children become conscious of the physical differences between the genders. By age 3, they can label themselves as a male or a female. And then by age 4, they have a stable sense of their gender identity. So Joey and Jessica, being age 5, has already gone through all of this. So we are first looking at the mesosystem, just for a little bit, and how parents have different expectations of their children who have different genders, even at stages as early as birth. And how fathers try to get their male children, their boys, to conform to gender roles more than girls, which we see when Joey's father is telling him, I think it's time for a grown-up haircut. And Joey's like, no, I like it long, and his mother's like, let him be, but his father's very adamant about it. We also see this with a stranger in the community coming over and saying, oh, what cute little girls, and Joey's like, I'm a boy, and then she goes over to the parents, and she's like, how are you guys doing this? Why are you letting him have long hair? He's gonna get bullied. He's gonna get made fun of. You really shouldn't do this. And the mother's response is, well, let us raise our kids. Like, they're our kids. We're fine. And that's actually very common in the community. Oftentimes, especially with how American society is, when we see a child who's not conforming to a normal gender role, we're always like, oh, maybe that's not smart. Like, kids are cruel. And that's just very common in our society to go over and probably say something when we see something that's a little abnormal. Next, we see Joey and Jessica go over and try to play with another little boy that they don't know. And we often don't see children interact and play with opposite genders from like pre-K to about 5th, 6th grade. It's very common. You'll just be seeing kids and they don't cross genders when they play. And that's what this little boy says to Joey. He says, wait, you're a girl, you have long hair, I can't play with you. And Joey obviously knows his gender identity and is like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yes, you are. And then Joey is sad. But we see same-sex partners play with same-sex partners, and behaviors that they have fit with their gender type. We see boys roughhousing and playing with sports equipment and trucks and such, and we see girls painting and reading and playing with dolls, and that's very, very common. And their same gender playmates, they praise and imitate those activities and join in. And when children engage in cross-gender activities, those same-sex peers oftentimes shun them, make fun of them, all that type of rude stuff, and it is especially seen in boys. So that is going to make Joey's life a little harder. Even though he's not particularly playing, he has a role, a behavior, a characteristic that is more of a girl characteristic than a boy. We also see that children have trouble distinguishing girl things and boy things from the gender of that individual. We have this teenage boy walk by, and he is wearing a skirt, and the little 5-year-old boy and Jessica both realize, oh, it's the girl, she's in a skirt, and Jessica tells her mom, oh, I was about to go make friends with that girl, and Jessica's mom looks over, sees the individual in the skirt, and goes, oh, Jessica, that's a boy, that's not a girl. And Jessica goes, no, it's the girl, she's in a skirt, and only girls can wear skirts. And her mother goes, no, anybody can wear a skirt. So even though it was explained to Jessica in very straightforward, simple terms, she doesn't understand it. And that's so common in children, that you don't distinguish the gender from certain characteristics or stereotypes that go with a specific gender. I mean, I think even today, sometimes people who are adults, 19, 20 years old, still sometimes miss that shift, and we still sometimes see something in girly colors, and our immediate reaction would be, oh, that's a girl, or it's a very feminine boy, and we don't really make that distinguishing characteristic all that well. We also see that children who put high importance on the emphasis of stereotypes have a lower well-being across the group. And that was done by a study in the UK of the Children's Society, because they put so much pressure on, you have to act this way, you have to look this way, you have to play this way, you have to speak that way. And that just puts so much pressure on a child that they don't feel comfortable. There's also a study done by Jason Rafty, who's an MD on gender identity development in young children, that saw even children with a gender diverse identity know their own gender as well as their peers, and they function fine as long as they have the same amount of love and support from parents. And even though this is going a little back to the mesosystem, we have seen through what we've been studying lately the correct care fit identity and how much what parents do affect their children, and simple as stuff as they eat and activities they do, that parents have a huge effect. But we also are starting to learn that the exosystem, the people that the children don't even see every single day, but they see throughout their community, has a really big effect. And I think throughout this project, you will see that the mesosystem, the immediate family, the exosystem, those in their neighborhood, and the macrosystem, American culture and media as a whole, all have a very large effect on children and how they convey their gender roles.
Lastly, we have the macrosystem, which consists of media as well as the overall cultural beliefs of a region. This scene will explore different gender depictions in the media.
7-year-old Leah and 9-year-old James are brother and sister. It is a typical Saturday afternoon. Leah and James are spending time watching cartoons in their family home. During the commercial break, an advertisement comes on for a headache medicine. The commercial is centered around a family. The mother is sick in bed, and the dad has to take care of the family for the day. The ad portrays him struggling with domestic tasks. He burns the dinner, turns the laundry pink, and fails to clean up after anyone. After the mom takes her medicine, she is back to doing all of the chores and the house is spotless and running smoothly. After the commercial, Leah and James discuss what they saw.
Hey James, that was weird.
What was weird?
Well, in our house, Dad always makes dinner.
You're right. Mommy always burns the food and it tastes yucky.
Yeah, and he does the laundry too. Mommy shrunk my favorite shirt last time that she tried.
She ruined my white shorts too. Mommy should never wash our clothes.
Mommy is really messy too. Dad always has to clean up. He washes our dishes after dinner and sweeps the floor.
I want to be just like Dad when I'm older. I want to cook food, help fold the clothes, and keep everything nice and clean.
I want to be just like Mommy. Cooking and cleaning is too hard.
After watching the medicine commercial, 2 toy commercials come on. The first one is an ad for Barbie dolls. The background is filled with bright pinks and purples, and there's light, upbeat music in the background. There are 4 little girls, about Leah's age, in the commercial playing with the dolls. Immediately following, a Hot Wheels commercial comes on. The music is thrashing and loud, and the background is red and blue. There are 2 young boys racing the cars and shouting. During the doll commercial, Leah rolls her eyes, but during the car commercial, she lights up.
Should I
Yeah,
turn the TV?
why not? Whoa! Look how cool that blue truck is, James!
Yeah, it's cool, but you can never play with that.
What? Why not?
Because you're a girl and girls can't play with cars.
But why not? I love playing with cars.
You're supposed to play with dolls, like the Barbies in the other commercial.
I hate Barbie dolls. They're stupid. Cars are fun.
Well, too bad, Leah. Only I can play with cars. You have to play with dolls because that's what girls do.
That's not fair.
It's just the way it is. Girls play with dolls and boys play with cars. Deal with it.
The previous scenarios with Leah and James show how society, media, and American culture impact gender roles in children growing up. The ideals and norms taught on TV or social media can easily influence the way that children grow up and interact with each other based on their sex or gender identity. The ecological systems theories state that our macro system consists of culture and media. Influences from our macro system in culmination with our mesosystem and exosystem help determine the way that we view society and how we behave in society. With the growing prevalence of technology and children being introduced to it at earlier and earlier ages, they begin to see these influences very early on, as young as the age of 5 or 6. It is not uncommon to see advertisements that depict men and women doing stereotypical tasks. For example, women doing domestic chores and men doing yard work and drinking beer. Research has shown that most marketers state that they accurately portray gender roles in their advertisements. While their portrayals may match typical ads from the mid-20th century, consumers agree that gender roles are changing and growing, and the typical media portrayal is incorrect. It seems that there is a growing belief that gender roles have changed, but advertisements have not. It is important to consider what impact this has on children growing up. One study found that 40% of children use iPads or other technology before they can even speak. Considering that children begin to take in this information very early on, it is essential to monitor the content that they are consuming and instill individual values and ideals to break away from gender stereotyping. The goal should be to teach children that they should not have to conform to the norm.
Thank you for watching our video. We hope that you were able to learn about how different levels of the ecological systems theory can contribute differently to gender stereotypes and gender development. Following this will be a list of our sources.